Hey everybody, this is a quick video, and a lot of you probably aren't going to really care about this video because it's more local politics than anything else. But I thought it was important that I at least say it. Hang on, let me get my likeness up over here. So let me get back to the comments there. So yeah, I wanted to talk about the fact that the Killeen Daily Herald, who is the propagandist mouthpiece for the city of um, Killeen, had posted a story recently, and they kind of keep really doubling down on stupid and trying to protect the city council. So for those of you who aren't aware, I filed a lawsuit on behalf of on behalf of several clients against the city of Killeen and several members of the city council, as well as an assistant chief of police, for their part in conspiring to violate the rights of my clients, so specifically the First and Fourth Amendment rights of my clients, the right to seek redress, the right to speak, as well as the right to be free of unlawful search and seizure, and equal protection under the law under the 14th Amendment. So what's happening here? I'm gonna kind of share this, and I know this is a little bit old, but I've been very busy and I have not been able um, to do this video in a quicker time frame. Oh, hang on, I didn't really. There we go. Didn't want to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide the proof, the receipts, so to speak, that Kevin Limity, and I'm done. I'm done doing interviews with Kevin Limity because, before it used to be that his reporting was simply biased. It was simply skewed in favor of tyrants and protecting the city. But now it's just outright invention. It's fiction that he's creating. And so let me bring this up here. This is let me do it this way here so we got a little bit bigger screen. This is the story that was written about a week ago, and it was in a Sunday paper about the fact that Grisham claims the city of Killeen was served, but federal court records say otherwise. This is false. The headline itself is false. I've not claimed that the city was served. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do right now is I've got a video that I did when I actually presented the city with the lawsuit, and I want to play this for you because this is very important as to really what was said. And when it comes to law, words matter, and sometimes I use words differently when I'm in public versus when I'm in a court because a legal term means one thing in legal circles, and then it means another thing, what the public kind of perceives as the meaning of something. And this is a perfect example right here of where we talk about service now. But listen to my words. Listen to my words here. Let me go ahead and play this. I've already got it queued up to. Oh, let me make sure I find the right spot. This should be the right spot. Hang on, it might not be actually. Hang on.
First Amendment, 100, the Supreme Court noted it likely would have been ruled unconstitutional.
Okay, yeah, that's about that. All right, so listen up.
While you guys are trying to come down to just twice a week, I don't have any problems with that. I mean, that's how we do it in Temple. The problem is, y'all have a history of clamping down on the First Amendment. You started with just these so-called rules of decorum or whatever, and then you decided, stay on topic. We're not gonna let you talk about anything but what we want you to talk about. We are your masters in this temple of government. We, upon our high chairs of office up here, standing before you, elevated below you lowly citizens. So then what did you do? People were trying to talk during agenda items. So now you're trying to make it even less. You have just been presented with...
And this is the important part here, okay? Listen to the words. The words mean something here. The words mean something. So what happened was during this city council meeting, I went and I spoke about on the agenda item about the fact that they were trying to reduce citizen comments from 4 times a month to 2 times a month, and then I have an individual present them with their lawsuit. So listen to what I'm saying here, because words matter, and I'm going to parse this apart.
You have just been presented, at least your city secretary has, with the lawsuit that I promised you, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem Cobb, Mr. Cagle. Not looking at me now, are you? You thought it was all talk when you wouldn't let us talk.
So there's a if you listen to the words, you have just been presented with the lawsuit via your city secretary there, okay? Because I'm not allowed to walk up. No one's allowed to just walk up there. And so the proper thing to do, according to Rule 5 under the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, is that I can present it to their secretary. And that's what I did. And if you noticed, now at the very end, I do say this. Let's go ahead and listen to the whole thing.
Now that talk is in writing. You've been served.
Now that talk is in writing. You've been served. But if you noticed at the very beginning, I said you've been presented with the lawsuit. And at the end, it was more of a me talk, because people, when you talk about being served, the legal definition of being served is, of course, you have to personally hand the lawsuit. You can also mail it. There are several ways that you can, quote unquote, serve a lawsuit. But in the federal courts, there is also a way to request a waiver of service of process. All right. And so you don't have to serve the lawsuit. You have to serve it within 90 days, or I'm sorry, 60 days of filing a lawsuit, but you don't have to serve every single defendant in a lawsuit. And so what I did was I presented all of the defendants, and several of them actually were presented the lawsuits in person. I mean, if I had served them, but I didn't do the certificates or anything like that. And there's a reason for that. I'm not going to go into the legal aspects, because I'm not going to do the city's job for them. So there's that. That's where I am presenting the lawsuit, and I'm very clear in my words. You have been presented with the lawsuit via your city council person here. Every single defendant except for one was aware that a lawsuit had just been presented to them via the secretary. The ones that were in the audience, they got their lawsuit in person. The chief, the vice chief, or whatever his name was, assistant chief. There you go. And then so there's that. Now let's go back to the story here. So Grisham claims the city of Killeen was served. First of all, that's a lie. I've never claimed that, even in my interview, which I'm going to play here in a minute. So after Temple attorney C.J. Grisham at the city council meeting last month, I don't even know what this burr is here, publicly claimed that city officials had been served a lawsuit. There's now a disconnect between the two parties as to whether the city of Killeen had actually been served or not. And I use that word at the end, you've been served, as kind of just a, a good line. But if you notice, you have been presented with the lawsuit. As of Friday, federal court records show that none of the 6 defendants in a $1 million lawsuit have been served, and no hearing dates have been set in this case. That's right. Absolutely no one in this case has been served. So then it talks about who are the defendants, who are the plaintiffs. Cagle has repeatedly said the city of Killeen would not be considered served unless the mayor, or in her absence, the mayor pro tem, is served, although he said he also believes they will eventually get it right. Guess what, Mr. Cagle? We've already gotten it right. All right? We've already gotten it right. And trust me, when and if I have to serve you, that will be done right. I haven't served you yet. But here's the thing. Grisham, for his part, said that the lawsuit awaits their decision on waiving a formal process, but he still claims He still claims it has been served to them. No, I actually do not. Now read this. This is the part here. This is a direct quote allegedly from me. I am not going to give them legal advice on what they should or should not do. They're free to ignore that or not, but they might want to talk to an attorney. They have been served with the service of process. They've been given the lawsuit. That's the quote. That's also the headline. Grisham claims they were served. They have been served service of process. So now, let's go over here. Let's go to 1 minute and 34 seconds. When I talk to the media, I record my conversations. I've had experience with the media. I know what they're like. So I record all of my conversations with the media. This is my interview with Kevin Limity of the Killeen Daily Herald, where he asks this question about whether or not they have been served. Now, let me know if you cannot hear this. Okay, it should be good. Should be good. Now, really quick, let me go back. This is the quote. I am not going to give them legal advice on what they should or should not do. They are free to ignore that or not, but they might want to talk to an attorney. They have been served with the service of process. They've been given the lawsuit. Here we go. Here's the actual conversation.
But you're saying that he did serve them?
Say again?
But you're saying he did serve them?
They haven't been served with service of process. They've been given the lawsuit. Did you guys catch that? They haven't been served with service of process, but they've been given the lawsuit. Let me play that one more time, because I'm going to show you what the quote was in the paper. They haven't been served with service of process. They've been given the lawsuit. They haven't been served with service of process. They have been served with service of process. The audio is very clear. They haven't. This story quotes me as saying they have. The deadline or the headline here says that I claim that the city was served, when I clearly said the exact opposite, that they had not been served, but they have been given a copy of the lawsuit. Now, why would they do this? Because they're trying to create cover for the government. They're trying to make it look as if, oh, CJ's incompetent. Now, here's the other thing, and I don't think they put it on here. Grisham did confirm that neither Wilkerson nor Cobb were served on Thursday. False. Nobody's been served. What I claimed was that neither Wilkerson nor Cobb had been given a copy of the lawsuit yet. Grisham has 90 days from the date of the filing of the complaint in order to have the defendants officially served. It's interesting here. It's interesting because instead of just reading the rules, what Kevin Limity's doing is he's reading from some website, Cornell Law School. So he's able to find out, and he's able to learn for himself what the timeline is for when a lawsuit has to be filed or served on the defendants. But he couldn't go and find out what is the process for, under Rule 4 and 5, Rules 4 and Rule 5, for getting documents served or presented or waived or anything like that. Now, he does talk about Rule 4 here, but he doesn't talk about Rule 5. Why would he skip Rule 5? Rule 5 is very important. Let me show you this here. Rule 5, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. So this is how when service is provided. Generally, you got to get a certificate. You get a lot of stuff from the court. The court issues the citation, then you have the citation served. So how is it made? You can serve an attorney. If the party has an attorney, you can serve them. You're required to if they have an attorney. Under this rule, must be made on the attorney unless the court orders service on the party. Now, here's what's interesting, right? The city has an attorney, but yet, if you look at this, now the federal rules require must be made on the attorney unless the court orders service on the party, right? This is what I am required to follow when I'm doing service of process. And yet, if you go back up here, Cagle said that, oh, here, I'm sorry. Cagle has repeatedly said that the city of Killeen would not be considered served unless the mayor, or in her absence, the mayor pro tem is served. Last I checked, the mayor and the mayor pro tem are not the attorneys. So these politicians here don't even know what they're talking about. And then you've got the media that's providing them with cover. You've got Kevin Limity and the Killeen Daily Herald with inaccurate reporting about exactly what I said, and not even talking about what is going on here. Talks about Rule 4, but doesn't go into Rule 5. And then, of course, goes into the lawsuit, and there's many other things there. So there's that. Now let's listen to the rest of this. This is the phone call I had with Kevin Limity.
Okay.
He's
been given the lawsuit.
I'm not required to what's called formal service.
See, there's the other thing. I am not required to do what's called formal service at this point in the lawsuit, right? I said it again that they hadn't been served, and that I'm not required to serve them at this juncture in the lawsuit. But yet, that's not what their story says. Their story makes a very bold claim that I'm saying the city of Killeen was served, and I made a very bold claim of the exact opposite. But I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to help them fight their case. If they don't think that I've done something properly, they can file the right motions, and they can tell the court that.
Okay.
In other words, they can file what's called a 12B motion. Okay? They can file and it's 12B4. They can file saying that they haven't been served properly. I think it's 12B5 as well. Let me go back to the rules here for you guys. Let me find them. Where are we at here? There we go. Let me go to Rule 12. Let's see how well my memory is. I think it's 4. 12B4. There you go. Look at that. I was right. Insufficient process. And then 12B5, I was right about that as well. Insufficient service of process. So if they don't believe they've been properly served, or they have been served, but they've been served improperly, so that's what this is. If they've been served, but they've been served improperly, or something is there's a defect in the process, then they can file what's called a 12B4 or a 12B5 motion. But that's not what they're doing. And this is rules of civil federal rules of civil procedure, Rule 12. Okay, this stuff right here, these 12B motions. Let me tell you, any first year law school student can do these, and I'm kind of surprised that I was still able after a few years. I think we're 6 years past when I learned this stuff. The fact that I can still remember that it's 12B4 and 12B5 that has to do with process, and everyone knows 12B6 because that's what they always try to claim for qualified immunity. This is what they always try to use to claim qualified immunity. So let's go back to this phone call.
And as far as Ken Wilkerson is not obviously a councilman anymore, so he wouldn't necessarily be part of the city. So has he been served separately?
I
see, and that's another question. Has he been served separately? I just told you twice. In the 2.5 minutes of this phone call, I've already said twice that nobody's been served. And you keep asking me about, has he been served separately?
I need to find out through my servers whether or not, so there are 2 individuals that we're still working on getting the documents to. That is Nina Cobb and I believe Ken Wilkerson. I'm not sure that those 2 defendants have been informed of the lawsuit against them yet.
See, I don't use the word served here. They haven't been informed of the lawsuit. They haven't been presented the lawsuit.
Okay.
Now, Ken Wilkerson's not being dropped. He, at the time of the actions that are alleged in the complaint, he was a member of the city council and is being sued in his formal capacity. Whether or not he's a city councilman is irrelevant.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay, so because he was city council member at the time.
Correct. That would be like if a cop shot you and then quit, saying you can't sue him as a cop. That just doesn't work that way.
Okay, I understand now. Okay.
All right, so that's what I wanted to cover was this blatant headline, and the reason I did that is because if you go to yesterday's paper, oh, hang on, let me close this so I can log in real quick. If you go to yesterday's paper, oh, hang on. Do I not have an account here? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, there it is. All right. Let me bring this back up. This is, I think, today's paper, but let me go to Sunday's paper. Let's see. Where are the... No, that's not what I'm looking for. I need... There we go. No, that's not it either. Good golly. Why is it so hard? All right, where's the opinions page at? Opinion C5. Let's go to C5. Now, these are online as well, so it's not like I'm doing anything. You can go and read this online as well. Letters to the editor. Where you at? Oh, maybe it was Saturday's paper. I'm sorry. Oh, no, here it is. There it is. Okay, I was right. Colleen Reader stands with city in lawsuit over free speech infractions. By now, most KDH readers are aware that of the $1 million lawsuit filed against the city of Killeen. The plaintiffs are a handful of residents who are claiming that their freedom of speech is constantly being infringed upon by a tyrannical mayor. They are being represented by a Temple attorney who has apparently convinced them that they will be rolling in dough before long. I can't talk about my conversations with my clients, but that's kind of funny. I believe that by asking for such an absurd amount, their attorney is hoping the city will be willing to settle out of court for a lesser amount. This is what I want to address. I did not file a lawsuit for my clients, and my clients did not file a lawsuit and ask me to file a lawsuit for a settlement. This has nothing to do with money. Whether we get $1 or $1 million is inconsequential to me. This is about freedom. This is about your rights as a citizen to speak and seek redress of your government without fear of being thrown in a cage or threatened to be thrown in a cage. It is about holding the people up on that dais, the city council, to the exact same standards of the law, which is the Constitution, that they expect you to follow. They've got these rules of decorum that they expect you, the citizens, to follow. But yet they don't think they have to follow the law, which includes not only the Texas Government Code under the Open Meetings Act, but also the state and federal constitutions of the United States that protect the right of citizens to seek redress of government for grievances, as well as to speak freely. That's what this case is about. I don't care, and neither do my clients. We don't care if all we get is $1 out of this settlement. Or not settlement, out of this case. We're not here to settle anything. We are here to ensure accountability of government officials. And prior to me getting my law degree, nobody in Bell County was willing to stand up to the political elitists in Bell County. And now they have to deal with that. But the problem is when you stand up to the elitists in Bell County, you're not just dealing with the elitists in Bell County, you're dealing with the elitist propagandists in the form of newspapers as well. I sincerely hope that the city fights tooth and nail to ensure that neither these individuals nor their attorney ever sees a dime. In other words, what Mr. Packett here wants the city to do is no matter how wrong they are, he wants them to fight and waste their money. And I don't care if I never see a dime from this lawsuit. It's not about seeing a dime in this lawsuit. It's about seeing the protection, conservation, and enforcement of our constitutional rights. That's what this is about. I've lived in Cleveland since 1967. I never really gave much thought to how I felt about our community until this lawsuit was announced. The anger I feel over this issue tells me just how much I really care. Isn't it interesting that he's angry over the fact that the city is being sued, but he's not angry over the fact that they're being sued because they're violating the law and they're violating my client's rights. It's no secret I don't care for these individuals. That's really the crux of what this whole letter is about. And they know it. Their rude, disruptive, and entitled behaviors ruined many a city council meeting. Now, I've been following these guys for a long time. And it did not get rude and disruptive until they, on the city council, escalated their attacks on freedom. And so you don't get to be upset when people get upset and start acting irrationally when they've been treated with such derision and disrespect for so long. You can only be nice for so long. You can only throw so much tea into the harbor. Before you have to you get upset. It's interesting to note that while this group complains about their freedom of speech being infringed upon, they don't seem to have a problem berating, belittling, or intimidating those who don't share their views. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, but isn't that free speech itself? Isn't the whole point of freedom of speech to challenge the views of other people? So no, it's not hypocritical, Bill Packett. It's not hypocritical at all. In addition to this behavior, apparently freedom of the press is not allowed without prior written approval. I'm sorry, but is freedom of the press the right to print lies? I just showed you the entire story about lies. Watching grown men flail their arms and whine whenever KDH reporters take pictures of them is priceless. When you have told someone, even though you're allowed to take pictures of people in public, when it's a media entity, it's interesting when the city council says don't take my picture, they do that. If this bothers you, may I suggest you take a seat, or better yet, stay at home. The bottom line is the City of Cleveland's defense team are ready for you and your attorney, and I have no doubt they'll eat you alive. Man, Bill, they can't even figure out how lawsuits work. They can't even figure out service of process, and you think they're going to eat us alive? Look, the facts are on our side. The facts are on my client's side. I'm not worried about any of that. And let's get to really why Bill Packett is such a vocal supporter of the city council. Matter of fact, let me read it to you because that's what's important here. Yes, I have people that tell me things. Let's see. Let me find it here. Oh, maybe it was an email. Hang on a second. It might have been an email. Let me go ahead and close this. I know this is the boring part, right? What are you doing, CJ? Good golly, man. Here it is. All right. So this is what I've been told. The as expected nearly weekly letter of the editor from Bill Packett, who licks the ground the mayor and city council walk on. Are you aware of the reasons for why he is so supportive. Well, here's the thing. A little while ago, according to my source, Mr. Peck had gotten into some financial trouble. And Segarra, who's on the city council, swooped in and helped him get a new house at a very deep discount. So, of course, the fact that the city council has, for whatever reason, taken a special interest, or at least members of the city council has taken a special interest in helping this guy get, I guess, get his house. He had some financial trouble or whatever. So there you go. I wanted to bring that up because the Killeen Daily Herald, you can't trust anything out of their mouths. I will no longer be doing interviews with Kevin Lemony. If they want to do interviews or they have questions about this lawsuit or this case, they can find another reporter to question me. But the fact that they have bold-faced lied about what happened and what I said, I've got the entire audio. I played that for you. I can keep playing that for you if you want. It's 8 minutes. It's 12 minutes. It's almost 13 minutes, the full interview. But what was important is the blatant violations and misrepresentations and outright lies about what I said, and then creating an entire story with a headline about the lie just had to be confronted. And I wanted everybody to listen to that, listen to the actual conversation, listen and see exactly what I told the city council about being presented with the lawsuit. Now, in the end, as sort of a fist in the air, I said, "You've been served." That's just a funny little catchphrase that the people in the audience would understand. And I've been very clear that no one in this case has been served yet officially. And in a few days, we'll figure out how that process is looking. But in the meantime, you guys take care, be safe, be free. By the way, also, I am moving into a new office, and so I should have a different background, and it's I've got my own place. It's still at the same address for those of you that are and have been to my office. It's still in the same grounds, just in a different building. I've got my own building now, and I'll be practicing from there. I've been working over the weekend, getting all the furniture put together, getting the internet set up, and all of that kind of stuff. So when you come in, if you come into the lot where my office is and you make a left, I'm at that little it's almost like a small trailer house kind of thing. I mean, it's got hookups for a while. It's like a 1-bedroom apartment kind of thing, but I've converted it into an office. So I've got a waiting room, a bathroom, a kitchen kind of place. I've got a filing cabinet area, but it's just a lot more space, and I'll be able to better serve my clients that way. So I'll have a different background. It'll be a little bit different and probably a little bit better. And with that, you guys take care, be safe, be free. Actually, let me so you can end this if you don't want to watch the rest of this. Let me just see if there were any questions I should have addressed while I was going through all of this. Hello, Chris Yost, John Denicola, Mr. Lunatic. How you doing, Stomper? Charles Murray, hello. David Morin, Buzz. Donna, howdy from Fort Worth. Thank you, howdy. Let's see. Good afternoon from Pennsylvania. Hello. I've emailed you an idea for auditing public entities. I hope you find the information useful to help disabled people. Thank you. The Benghazi Rabbit, hello. Kevin should never have left us for the dirtbag cops and government. Agreed. You know, just report the facts. I don't care whose side you're on. Just report the facts. Stop covering up for tyrannical. Is there a Zoom link for the meeting? If you go to yes, if you go to the Killeen City Council page, you should be able to see all the videos. No, I'm not running for office, Hebrew Hammer. Forget that. Nope. How many subs do I have? I have no idea. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I really don't. 50 subs allows you to go live. You can live stream the meeting. Oh, maybe you're talking to somebody else. Sorry about that. Oh, it looks like a lot of people talking to each other. If you're live at a minimum, blah, blah, blah. How's it going, CJ? William Baumgartner, how you doing? I'm doing well. Once I hang up with this, I got a lot of work to do. Yeah, some folks hear what they want to hear. Exactly. When you've got an agenda, everything that you hear is processed differently. All right, I think that's everything. I think it's just funny that it's sensationalism. I just think it's funny that they destroy the lies KSD tells, but lie to spare the city and the council. Exactly. You know why? Because they want their placement and access. I think KDH probably realizes that, and there's audio out there of an unhealthy relationship between the mayor and the newspaper. Yeah, don't forget to share that like button or press that like button. Editor probably made this up himself. No, Bill Packett's an actual person that shows up. He's quite the bootlicker. The council meetings should know better. They should be respectful because the people put them in there. Yes, agreed. Being pissed. I love this comment here because this is absolutely true. Being pissed and not wanting to take it anymore is synonymous with freedom. Hey, Avelia, how you doing? Thank you. Freedom is taken for granted till taken away. Yep. Any update on the property dispute in Kirby? Nope, nothing yet. We are still. I think we're getting ready to start doing. I've got some discovery stuff going on. We're in discovery right now. That's where we're at. All right, there you go. That's everybody. That's it. I've gone through it. No other questions. You guys take care. Be safe. Be free. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.